we look at life, any situation in life, any encounter, every moment that we're alive, we see something, we hear something, we talk to somebody, there's a certain impression in our lives. There's two ways how to look at these things. One is to see the thing as is. As is. The thing presents itself. You meet somebody. Okay, you met him. You bumped into someone. Okay, you bumped into them. Or bigger things that happen. Anything that happens in your life. You see the thing for what it is. Just the way it is. But you don't have the Aleph. What is the Aleph? The Aleph represents Alufa Shalom. The Aleph represents the master of the universe. When you look at things in this world, every type of encounter, every type of experience, and you don't sense the presence of Hashem speaking to you through this encounter, and the presence of Hashem means the koyach, the power that transforms something into to what, which means every single experience that happens to you, anything that occurs in your outside that's affecting you, you ask the question, why? Ma. What is it telling me? What is it teaching me? What's the lesson I can learn from it? What can I do in this situation? Why did I have to hear this thing? How can I help that other person? What can be done in this situation? In other words, every single thing that happens to you, you open it to the question of ma, which is what? When you open something to the question of what? Why did this happen? What is this happening for? The ma question. Then you become an Adam. Then you're living fully as a human being. And then every single experience is infinite. Because one thing leads to the next, and the other thing leads to another thing. Everything opens you up, expands you, enlarges you. Every time you hear something, every time you see something, you're always becoming bigger because you're always asking, why did I know this? What do I have to know about this? When you connect the Aleph and recognize that there's an Aleph in the Dam, when you recognize that there's a oneness, there's the Creator is speaking to me through these events, through these experiences. When Hashem is talking to me through the world, then every single experience that you have is opening you. And it's Ein Lo Soif, it's infinite. And every single experience is Mayim, is water. It's nurturing, it's refreshing, it's revitalizing, it's invigorating. Every single experience. But if you look at the experience and you let go of the Aleph, if you have shikha, you have forgetfulness that there's Aluva Shalom in the world, and you don't recognize that Hashem's presence in this world and the experience that you have, maybe you recognize Hashem's presence when you're davening, when you're praying. You recognize Hashem's presence when you're learning. You recognize Hashem's presence when you're doing a chesed, but not when you're walking down the street. And not when you just hear something random. And not when you just see something that appears to be random. And you don't recognize the Aleph in the experience, then the experiences that you have are dead. They're dumb. They unfold and they're dead within themselves. There's no life force. There's no energy. There's no power. There's no magic. There's no ma. This is what the Baal Shem Tov is saying. That the same experience that for one person could be dumb, could be ends, could be death, could be the end of something, that same experience could be mayim, could be water. And it depends on our relationship and how we enter into the situations. How do we look at our lives? Do we always ask ourselves the question of ma? Am I an Adam or a behema? A behema, an animal, and not talk negatively about animal, but in our perception of what animals are, behema is ba-ma. Ba-ma means the ma, the mystery of what is within it. Which means the mystery is not outward. It's not a question of why this is happening to me. The animal doesn't ask that question. It just asks, do I have the food? Do I have the drink? Could I procreate? This is what the question that the animal asks. The human being asks is not a behema. He's an Adam. An Adam is ma. An Adam is a question mark. The definition of a human being is a person that lives with a question mark. And a question mark is not an existential uncertainty about life, but it's an openness to the experience of the Ein Sof in life, to the infinite potential that's always being revealed, and the infinite wisdom and mayim and water and nourishment and chachma that's being revealed in this world. To me, at this time, right now, always. That's the difference between shikha, someone that lives with a place of forgetfulness, and someone that lives with an awareness of the Aleph, which is the remembrance, then it becomes fully an Adam. This is what the Toldus writes. This is what the great student of the Baal Shem writes in the name of his teacher. The Degel adds, the Degel Machner Ephraim, which is a grandson of the Baal Shem, adds another little twist to this teaching. It says it a little bit differently. It says that it's a difference between Shem Eka B'Ribua. Shem Eka B'Ribua is the fullness of the name Eka. Aleph 1, Aleph Hey 6, Aleph Hey Yud 16, Aleph Hey Yud Hey 21, in total is 44. That's Dam. 44 is the numeric value of the word for blood. And for Klal Yisrael, it wasn't blood, it was Ma, it was water, it was Mayim. Bechinas Mayim, level of Mayim. What this means is like this. On a deeper level, the water, the original Nile, is transformed into blood. And what does the person say when they see the blood? There was water, and now the water turns into blood. So the tsura, the form of the water, is now mishtana. It changes now to be the form of blood. What does that tell the person? The person says, what that means is that there's nothing permanent in this world. Everything's constantly changing. The impermanence of creation, that everything's mishtana tsura constantly, everything keeps on changing forms. That in itself could be two ways how to look at it. One way to look at it is, since everything is mishtana tsura, everything's changing forms, so a person says, I work to do this thing, and I work very hard. And then, tomorrow I'm going to lose my job, or tomorrow I'm going to forget what I learned, or tomorrow I'm not going to have the same experience of davening that I had today. So why should I put in the effort? This idea of the impermanence of creation could create a state of yush, of letting go, of giving up. Because if nothing's permanent, if everything's kecholm, everything's like a dream, and nothing really works, because it's not compounded. It's not, I prayed today, I had a wonderful davening today, therefore tomorrow I'm going to daven properly. I had an amazing, I learned Torah today amazingly, tomorrow I'm going to learn able. I had an amazing thing today in my job or my relationship, tomorrow it's going to be successful as well. It's not, the impermanence. So when the person sees the impermanence of life, and nothing is solid, and things are constantly changing, that can lead a person to a place of yush, which is, okay, I just give up. I give up. When a person lives with a place of yush, everything dies. There's no more passion, there's no more desire, there's no more aliveness. So the dam, the water turning into the dam, means it's Shem Eka. Shem Eka, which means that it's a state of becoming. When the Mitzrayim looked at the state of becoming, that it was water and now it's blood, and then tomorrow it'll be water again and then it'll be blood again, they said, okay, that's it, it's nothing. It's yush. It's dead. I give up. Yush is death. Klal Yisrael was able to look at the water and say, Ma, what is it really? How is it opening me? The fact that things are changing opens me to the possibility of everything changing continuously. It opens me up to the Ein Sof, the limitless possibilities that are possible. So again, one type of relationship with the impermanence of creation is nothing really matters. Hakol hevel, everything is vanity, vanity of vanities. Mashahoyu mashayiyah, what was, what will already be. There's no reason to push the boulder up the mountain. It's just going to fall down again, and might as well not pull it up again because tomorrow it's going to come back again, and just give up. That's one way of understanding. That's the yish, because things are not permanent. The other thing is, no, because nothing's permanent, and there's these chachas and everything, there's really a renewal and everything, that means that every single moment is a brand new moment for you. Every single moment you're born again. Every single moment you can say, wow. So much in our life is lived because, the first time when we were a child, you looked at the stars, you said, wow. The next day, you turned to your parents and said, what were those stars? And they said, oh, it's some type of, gas. And then the third day, you just didn't look anymore. Because you became used to it. There's no longer the mystery. It doesn't open you up. It's not revealing, it's not opening to you. It doesn't expand you. It is, okay, whatever. Today's a star, it's going to die. The star's going to die, it's going to be another star tomorrow. Nothing really impresses us. That's the mitzri. That's the state of constriction. Because of the changing nature, of the eka nature of creation, you just say, forget it, hakol havel. Everything is vanity, there's no reason to do anything in this world. And the other hand, the other way of looking at this is what the Baal Shem is teaching in the second teaching. That the impermanence of things allows you to be alive at every moment. You're right, today's a brand new day, but because it's a brand new day, you were just born. You can look up in the sky and say, wow. You can look into Tehillim and say, wow, who created these beautiful words of davening? Because every single day, you can say, Gaval, it's unbelievable. You look at your child that was born 10 years ago, but it's just today that we're born. You look at your spouse that you were married for 20 years, and today you just got married. Because it allows us to have a freshness, a newness, a chiyas, a life in every single thing that we do. And that's the difference when we look from life from a place where everything is dead and old and it's just dying and it's just impermanent and it might as well just give up, or a sense of ischachus. And these are the two teachings that we have from the Baal Shem Tov in this week's parsha, which seems to be both related to each other from the two students of the Baal Shem.